Yeah, man.
So, returner, you could play DB in college, you played a little wide receiver, and then you kind of transition says, I want more. I love returning punts and kick, but I believe I can do a little bit more on offense. What made you come to that decision that says, I want to do more?
It was because I wanted to be honest. Coach Lovett brought that to my attention the minute they started kicking away from me, and he was like, "Devin, to be honest with you, man, you're probably and it got to be in the top two, top three most dynamic player with the ball in your hand in the National Football League.
Right.
Now teams are kicking it out of bounds. I got to find a way to get the ball in your hands. So the only way I can do that is to move you over the offense.
Right.
And that's why I got moved over the offense because the punters and the team started kicking the ball to me. If they would have kept kicking to me, I would probably stay that corner and been playing this straight punt return, kickoff return.
Right. But it also helped the contract because you say, look, I'm not just a returner.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the offense too now. So, y'all need to factor that into that contract also.
That's when I got that contract, when they moved me over the offense.
Let's go back to your younger years. You grew up in Florida. You lost your father to cancer. Your mom was seriously injured in an automobile accident. So was sports an outlet for you to deal with the pain and the trauma that you were going through as a young man?
I would say so, man. Like, to be honest, I got attached to a guy named by the name of Mr. Thompson at first, which was he worked at the Boys Girl Club.
Okay.
The Boys Girl Club was literally right across the street from me.
Okay.
They knew my situation, right? So they knew my situation with my mom. They knew my father passed away when I was young, so we didn't have to pay to go. So, right, we just jumped the gate and we just blended in with the rest of the kids. And so we played football and all that from the moment we got out of school to the time to go to sleep, So the passion of football, man, in the neighborhood I grew up in, that's all we did.
Right.
That's all I knew was football. Football and all we did was football, played football, and went outside and flipped, back flips and all that type of stuff.
Right. So, obviously, you're a great high school player. You get an opportunity to go to the U. I'm sure you had other opportunities. What made you decide to go to the University of Miami?
Man, a lot of people that was in my situation where your mama made you go. My mama made me go to Miami. You know what I mean? It was a couple schools I wanted to go to, but my mom was like, listen here, we ain't got no money for no flights. We ain't got no money for no traveling. And then plus my brother played at FIU.
Right.
So FIU is like a 10-minute drive from our campus. So we was able to be close to each other. Me and my brother was able to be close to each other. And then, at the same time, there was a winning program. And like I said, it was ranked in the top 3, top 4 in the nation. So at the end of the day, man, it was a great decision. I feel that, me being close to home and being close to everybody. So that was the reason why I went to the U.
You said there were other schools that you wanted to go to. What were some of the schools that Devin Hester wanted to attend?
I wanted to go to either NC State at the time. They had Phillip Rivers.
Right.
And at the time, they were ranked like in the top 14, 15 in the nation. And I knew I was going to come in right there and play right away.
Right.
I knew that. You know what I mean? It wasn't a thought about that. Going to like Miami and stuff like that, with those type of guys, you're going to have to sit out a year too. It ain't number 5-star players in that locker room. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to go to a top 15 ranked team, they just lost a position that you coming in to fill in and be that main guy. And they already told me, listen, you come here, your brother coming, we y'all good. So I wanted to go to NC State. That was my number 1 school, but at the end, Miami offered me like when I was a freshman in high school, man. So I felt like I had to kind of be loyal to those guys, and I had a cousin that played for them too. So it was in my blood to go there.
There's a story, and you can expand on this, that you had to sit out your first year at the University of Miami because they believed you didn't take the SAT. Tell the story.
So that story went down like when you start getting notarized, right? You that athlete that say, oh wow, this kid here got potential.
Right.
They start making you take the SAT early. You don't wait till your senior year. Right. So I started doing the prep in my sophomore year, took the test my junior year.
Right.
got a score qualified, GPA, everything qualified. So my whole senior, now all I had to do was just work on my GPA, all my test scores and everything was done. I didn't worry about taking. I didn't take no SAT or nothing. My whole senior, got my test scores back and everything. So if your SAT get questioned, I don't know if y'all know this, but if your SAT score get questioned, you do not get it back.
Right.
They send you a letter in the mail say we found some unsuspicious things going on. We want you to retake it. I got my SAT scores back.
Right.
So my whole senior year, I was qualified. GPA was like a 3.1, 3.2. So I was good. Just no worry about no school or nothing. So on my college visit, I don't know if you know that story, but the only school that offered me a scholarship was SC. That's the only school I never got a 4 right. Everybody else I could have went to.
Right.
So I went on a college visit, and one of the coaches wanted me real bad. So I promised him I would take a visit, you know, because you get 5 visits. So I promised I would take a visit there, you know, and visit him and really give him a shot because he really was trying hard to get me. And then when that time got close to announce where I was going, I said, Coach, you know, I say out of all the recruiters, you know what I mean? You was the one that was there really, really working hard to get me. I appreciate your situation and what you were trying to do, but I'm going to go ahead and sign with University of Miami. So he got upset. He started calling my phone every 2 hours, going off. So I said, you know what, this is getting out of hand. I'm going to let you deal with my parents. Because at first I was dealing with him. I ain't tell my mama about it. I was dealing with him. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and let my mama deal with this situation. So my mama got the phone. She went off on him. And he called one more time. I answered the phone. He said, you know what, if you don't come here, I promise you, you will never see a down of football in your life. So that's when I said, man, you threatening me? So I hung up on him. We blocked their phone, them, all that. I get to the University of Miami after signing with him. I check in the dorm room, everything, I'm good, everything. The next day before practice, my counselor come to me. He said, Devin, we got a problem. I said, what's going on? He said, some stuff going on with the NCAA about you. It's nothing. You shouldn't have to worry about it now. You good. And so they, when I got down there, we got on the phone with the NCAA. They said it's been some phone calls about questioning your SAT scores. And I said, okay, well, what's the problem? They said, well, your answers match somebody that's sitting beside you answers. And I said, well, what did they get? And they had I think they scored like an 880. Mm-hmm. I said, well, what did I get? I think I scored like a 970.
Right. So
I said, well, who was cheating off who paper then? If he scored an 880 and I scored a 970, my score is higher than his. Who y'all think cheating? They said they feel like you were cheating. So it was up to University of Miami to say, you know what, we're going to disregard that. And because it was up to the University of Miami to say, we're going to set these scores whether or not. Because right now, y'all don't have no proven fact. So Miami was at the point where when they went to the national championship in Ohio State, and they lost in Ohio State. So if I would have played that year and they would have kept investigating, if they would have found something that was out of the ordinary, Miami would have been suspended.
Right.
So Miami said, you know what, we can take a risk and just let you play, and then week 6 or 7, they come back and say it's not right, or we can sit you out and then you just come back in next year and play. And so when that happened, I had a bunch of teams like, listen, we already dug into that situation. We ready to take it. It's nothing they can do about that situation. Okay. You got your scores, you score higher than that person. It's nothing they can do about it. But Miami said, no, we're not going to do it. And then they was like, and I told them about the situation, and they were like, listen, Dad, we just got too much to lose. I will promise you this: if you just have faith in us next year and you come in, we will not give your jersey away. So they set my jersey number 4 up because everybody was trying to get it. They said, no, we're not going to hand out a jersey. We're going to show him that we're loyal and we'll bring him in next year. And that's what happened.
So that was, you believe that coach at the recruit at the at USC, you believe he had something to do with this? No,
not USC, because USC didn't recruit him.
Okay.
USC was the only school that didn't offer me a full scholarship out of all the colleges. Was the only school, but it was a college that I was, getting recruited by.
Right. You don't want to reveal that college? You've been sitting on that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna let that go. I went my first time touching the ball in Orange Bowl. I took it 92 yards back for a touchdown, right? Mm-hmm. I took my helmet off, stared in the camera, right? I just wanted him to look me in my face. That's all. That's why I did that. If you go back, my first time touching the ball in the Orange Bowl, I took a 92-yard kickoff back, open the kickoff for the game.
Yep.
I took my helmet off, going in the end zone, looked in the camera, stared at him, just so he could see my face. That's how I got him back though. So we good now.
You didn't play so you weren't allowed to practice. Were you allowed to meet? Were you allowed to go in the cafeteria with the play? How did you stay in shape? So basically, you were like a regular college student.
I didn't even go to school. Man. I went home.
Wow.
I went home, man. Listen, that drive home, man, felt like I was getting sentenced to 15 to 20 years in prison, man.
Right.
Like, it was like my whole life was just gone. And it was like, it ain't nothing I can do about it, man. When I pulled up to my driveway, man, and looked at the front door, and just thought about, like, man, everybody that comes from this era, if you don't go to college, man, you know what's finna happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You finna get caught up.
Right.
You finna get caught up, man. And just looking at that door, I said, boy, it's over for me. So I literally when I got in that, once I walked through that door, man, I went in my room, closed the door. I don't think I ate. I don't think I ate or slept for like 2-3 weeks straight. I did not come out the room for a whole month. My mama made me shit like, Devin, you gotta get up, man. You gotta get up, baby. You can't do this. You cannot do this. You gotta fight, man. Like I stayed in the room for 2-3 weeks straight without eating, and then come out the room for a whole month. I was sick, man. Like everything I worked for got taken away just like that easy.
Right.
I was hurting, man.
So your mom said, Dev, you can't just give up. You gotta fight. So once she tells you that, now what's your thought process? I gotta train. I gotta make sure that when I go back, I'm in shape. I'm ready to go. To say, let them know that I haven't been just sitting around.
Right. So what happened was my mom called my high school coach and was like, man, y'all got to find something for Devin to do till it's time for him to go back. So my coach, man, he was like, hey, man, listen, we need to work. He said, bring your shoulder, I kept everything, bring your shoulder pads and your helmet and come practice with us. You give us work. And while you giving us work, you're going to keep yourself in shape. So I started going back to my high school and being on the scout team to make those guys better, man. And not only did I make them better, I was able to stay in shape.
Right.
And that's how I really stayed in shape, man. I went back to high school, man, after graduating and went back practicing with them being on the scout team, man.
So what's the best feeling? Punt return touchdown, kick return touchdown, interception, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown. But I said, Devin Hester, this is the one. You will have one of these today. Which one you want?
Punt return. Punt return touchdown.
That's your bag. The punt return TD.
Yeah. Punt return touchdown, man. Because intercept, you can pick it and run 12, 13 yards in the end zone. But punt return, man, you out there in the middle of nowhere by yourself. And when that ball get in your hand, there's 1,000 people around you. And when you come up out that hole and you hit that sideline, and then you show them folks how really fast you will, and you open up while somebody's sitting up in the high stand, and they see how fast you really running. Oh yeah, that's what I like to show.
You told the story earlier about how you didn't get an opportunity to play much your junior year on the defensive side of football. You were mainly a returner because the coach didn't like some of the things that had transpired your sophomore year with the accolades that you had started to receive. So you make the decision that you're going to come out. You go to the combine, you run 4.4 and some Nike Air Max, and you pull a hamstring. You're like, damn, of all the things that could have happened. I didn't play at all on the defensive side of football, and now here I am at the combine, and I pull up.
No, I pulled up. I had a pulled hamstring